Suicide Wretched Tag against Zai, and he's doing fantastically, I'm assuming. 14-9 versus 6-0. We have a dual lane mid of Luna and Silhouette against the Zephyr, and that's really smart. Whenever you're going up against a Zephyr, and it is a Zephyr D-Shop, is you want not only dual range, but you want a strong lane against it. Not just any dual range, but this works really nicely. And I imagine they're doing a little bit better. And actually, you know, it looks quite even, to be honest. So D-Shop and Zephyr, they do have lots of survivability, so that means Zephyr can play up a lot further than otherwise he would not be able to if he had like a Glacius or someone in this lane. Yeah. So it's kind of even right here in the mid lane, and then you got basically jungle versus jungle, Ophelia versus Warbeast. Warbeast, it looks like he's had to struggle just a little bit, and he actually has Insania who blocked a small camp from him, which is pretty vital if you're on the Legion side especially, because and actually both of them. Look at this other ward side placed by Zai.
Oh yeah.
By the underneath.
Just placed actually.
Yeah.
Unless no, mine's just bugged actually. No,
and he actually dies to neutral.
Did he purposely? No, he nope. Okay. No, that was an accident. Yep, just caught him as he was dying. Ouch. That is unfortunate.
Keep It Force almost just died. That was
top
close.
lane, yeah, he barely survives. Okay, so yeah, Draconis up here. So, well, that's unfortunate for Warbeast. I mean, not only is he already struggling, he's in the double ward of sights, you know, one in the yellow camp, one over here to the bottom rune. But on top of that, he dies to neutrals, which it doesn't look like it was intentional. So, yeah, not good at all for Warbeast, and Pinky Curdy here. Not off to the bestest of starts here, but PUA on this Silhouette this time around. Something tells me Monkey King might have been blind banned even this game. Obviously jumping in late here, but as we saw on the tail end of the last game, and he is a great monkey. You got think of Cookies this first comes to mind, but then him definitely is up there. So
well, look at what's happened just recently in the bottom lane, and looks like Zai's been doing fantastically here. He's up to basically just about even CS Tremble, and this can't be happening. I mean. It can happen. It can stumble a little bit in favor of Wretched Tag if you do get some good haunts off and some good harass. But you basically have 4 heroes on the Hellborn team farming well, whereas you have only basically 2 on the Legion side. Keeper of the Force is getting dominated up in this long lane. And then the Warbeast is really finding nothing in the jungle because of the camps being blocked by the Hellborn team.
Yeah, Noob G on Draconis, he really is dominating up here. He is a great creep farm himself, 31-6, and as you said, just dominating Keeper of the Force, who's only 6-3 here compared to that 31-6. So yeah, really good news there. You look at Silhouette, the positioning from Pewee coming out. Look at it going very aggressive, and actually, if he was able to snipe Dimension Shaman with the Death Lotus right there, nice dodge right there with the power throw attempt from actually Name Fake. I'm not sure what that's about, but whoever that is, trying to land the power throw. But a good dodge from the Senia. Going to be fine for now. But yeah, this middle lane does seem to be going back and forth. 27-4 Silhouette now compared to a 27-3 Zephyr. So truly is a back and forth battle there. Zephyr, he gave his bottle to Dimension Shaman. That's why. And it's actually Boris is down here trying to protect the bottom room, but Dimension Shaman will bottle it up. The regen that is. He's taking a little bit of pressure from Boris. He needs to be careful. Top into the meantime, Keeper of the Force is going to root right here. He saw the Minotaur coming in from Ophelia, and actually he will easily survive as a result of that. So very defensive root right there coming out from Keeper, but it does easily keep him alive. So yeah, I'd say it's worth it.
And I think more importantly, not just that, oh no, now I don't have that cooldown to work with or the ultimate to work with. It's I don't want to die anymore, or I don't want to die because I don't want to give Draconis more farm than he already has. That's the biggest issue.
True.
And that's what Keeper of the Force has to make sure he doesn't do. Because obviously he knows that he's getting out farm. He knows that Draconis has an easier lane, and is just spamming this out, and has the assistance from Ophelia. So he just needs to make sure he doesn't give him any more farm than he already has.
Yeah, so, and you see that it is pushed up right now, so Keeper of the Force can maybe get in a little bit right here, but Draconis is still just sitting up there, attacking the creeps, and Noob G really is just maximizing that farm of his. So bottom matchup, again, the Hag versus the Tremble. Has Tremble done a little bit better at least? He's 32-9, 33-9, 27-3 Wretched Hag, so he is at least getting a little bit further ahead now of Wretched Hag. And you know, you made the point of that earlier, how it seemed like Zai was actually Zai is a great Wretched Hag, especially in the suicide role. So but Tremble should definitely be winning this.
Well,
and he is right now.
I mean, Hag actually can fare well because of the haunt, and you know, Tremble is after all a melee hero. He does have extra regen to work with because of his mounts, but I guess I spoke too soon. It's not like a complete blowout.
Wow, big dive coming out from Zephyr right here on a Silhouette, but at what cost? Warbeast charging in. The quick heals coming up on both Ophelia and Dimension Shaman, though. He got Percy down big time. but barely stayed alive. Boris runs into him. The Death Lotus time not going to connect. Ophelia dropping the Unbreakable, healing him up though. Warby's chasing. There's a kill. There's another kill. Yes, on his Zephyr as Tremble joins the party, and now Demented Shaman in a lot of trouble. FYKU in a very good spot all of a sudden. Demented Shaman being chased down. There's the claws coming out from Tremble. One more attack should do him in, and a double tap for VN Sensation. Holy crap, fuck you, Curdy. What just happened there? All of a sudden they I don't know what the dive was from Zephyr. He go big time there.
He did dive big time, and he obviously wasn't looking at the levels of Warbeast because Warbeast was right there, had the ultimate ready, and then Tremble with a fantastic response. And I love to see active Tremble players because honestly, that's what you have to do with the hero because he doesn't really carry as hard as most heroes like him.
Yeah.
But he has fantastic mobility, and especially early on when you have the levels when you're in a solo lane, being able to go transfer to your mounds and TP to your mounds with Boris. It was very, they did a good job right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was well put together by FYKU, and perhaps even giving us more of a logic as to why this isn't even in a Game 3 here against TDM, who's a 2-time cycle winners. Of course, in both the first cycles here for HoN Tour, they've just been so strong lately, losing barely any games. If any. I don't even know if they've lost a game. Actually, I got to double check that. I don't even know if they've lost a game in these first 2 cycles now that I think about it. But anyways, TDM is, to say the least, been a great team lately. But FYKU, not necessarily the most, the team you would expect to give a, really TDM a run for their money. But again, it's looking strong here early on. But it's still very early on in what is game number 3. 9.5 minutes in. So again, kind of just a quick recap here. If you do happen to be just joining us, we've got finished casting the Complexity versus Lion Series. Complexity did sweep that series 2 games to nothing. Fairly easy victory for them in the end. And as a result of that, jumping into what is now this 3rd game here of TDM versus FYKU. So top tower going to be pressured. Ophelia with the double Minotaur. Of course, Draconis joining the party. And Minot on Ophelia will actually get the tower kill. So good job for TDM. And going to even push a little bit more here. They want a little bit more out of this, so we'll see what they get, though.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Ophelia doesn't have level 7 just yet, so it doesn't have that 3rd creep to work with. But was able to get 1 tower kill, and that's going to open up the jungle now, I think, for Draconis. He's staying in the lane as long as he can until he sees some resistance, then he will leave.
Yeah.
But until that time, he's just going to keep farming here, and he'll be fine. Luna's going to give him a little bit of resistance, but can't really do that much. He's going to spam that wave and probably going to go do some stacks, but there aren't really any stacks. And you really need, at this point, Ophelia to get like another creep or maybe hit level 7 and start roaming around another lane. And that will free up the jungle for Draconis. And right as I say that ding, he hits level 7. Maybe going to grab one more creep. It is a Catman. And I can start maybe roaming bottom on this Tremble and maybe push that tower.
Yeah. Warby, so not only was he up to horrendous Starkin, the camp's blocked with the wards, but then he also died in neutrals, which it didn't look like intentional. Speaking of Warbeast, they collapse on a Wretched Hag, blinks away, but Tremble coming out with Boris. He got the entangle off after the port, and Wretched Hag will die in the end. Pinky Curdy on Warbeast gets the kill right there. That was great play because actually, now when I'm thinking about it, so he had the initial Boris, he used the net on Wretched Hag, got the damage out. Then when she blinked, he spawned another Boris and did it again right before she blinked, and it actually hit her. So very good play by VN Sensation right there. And actually the middle lane, Silhouette big time in the mid-top, but again, a lot of heals coming out, and Silhouette's now in a lot of trouble. Typhoon comes out from Zephyr, and Silhouette will be the first one to fall here on the side of FYKU. So a little bit too Rambo-ish there coming up from Silhouette, and a good response at the same time from Trademark eSports.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, but looks like he was just a little too overzealous. But yeah, fantastic play. Actually, a Bat Blast coming down the bottom. Did it even hit anything, or it must have hit Warbeast?
Barely hit Warbeast, I think.
But very minimal damage, and the tower is not in deny range just yet. So, yeah, great play by VN Sensation, and it's a very effective tool, like to being able to use that double ensnare basically from Boris.
Yeah, excellent job. So, yeah, kind of bittersweet because in the end, like I said, their carry just died right there. One of their carries, I guess you could say. In Silhouette, as dove a little bit too much, but still not too shabby for FYKU. But at the end of this other side of the spectrum, though, so despite it being a 4-1 hero kill for FYKU here, you do look at the overall side, and TDM definitely has their strong suits. I mean, Draconis actually continues to be in these triple stack. Yeah, he's going to do some triple stack Ancients here, get some support from Demented Shaman. He is out of mana, however, so this isn't going to happen as quickly as maybe he wants it to. But here comes the triple Minotaur army from Ophelia for some assistance. And she'll gladly assist, even takes a creep kill right there on accident. But Draconis will get the majority of that. And Helm of the Black Legion actually just delivered to Limp on Zephyr, of course. So some good core items are coming out here early on for the Hellborn team. Good news, but hey, it looks like we have a hell of a game going here. 13 minutes in, game number 3. And still no clue on, you know, who's going to come out on top, of course. So good to see that, good to see that. Middle lane is going to be heavily pressured, however, and I don't see them defending it. TDM will get a tower kill here. And that should give them a decent gold.
The Hellborn takes down a Legion tower.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we see this Zephyr plus Ophelia combination, which is, and even Demented Shamans. They even have more heal on top of that now. They did get pretty dominant in the early, you know, the laning phase, and good roam. Well, they did dive, to be fair. Like they dove pretty far, and got counted on as a result after that. Look at Zai though. Even though he had a, you know, kind of an interesting start and then died right, you know, a couple minutes ago. Now still has 1 Arcanus, so well on his way to that Hellflower. So yeah. Suicide Wretched Hag doing work, and look at the aggressive play here from TDM as they're using that ultimate from Zephyr to take out some double stack Ancients, but the aggression coming from FYKU, they know something's up. They have a ward spotting that. So they're going to actually take out the important creep kills right here. But here comes actually, oh, there's the ultimate from Keeper of the Force. It catches 2. But there's the offensive gust. A lot of damage coming out between Luna and Silhouette. A couple of attacks. Demented Shaman does fall, but Zephyr will live for the time being.
Yeah, Demented Shaman had to make a choice right there. Save himself or save Zephyr. Of course he chose to save Zephyr. Put the Unbreakable on the Zephyr just in case. And as a result, you know, he easily got bursted down. But good catch. Great Keeper of the Force root, of course, to start that all off. He got that Great Nature's Veil to sneak up on them. And Zephyr and Demented Shaman, they thought they had a good idea there with that Ward of Sight you were talking about, but clearly did not pay off. And actually, Keeper of the Force hasn't had the greatest start, but he just pushed out a portal key. I mean, he's got a nice solid item here early on. So very good news there. Bottom lane Tremble may be in some trouble, committing to a kill and a hack, but at what cost right here? In comes Warby still with the flank. Wretched Hag realizing she's still in trouble, will be able to blink away. Demented Shaman is there. Can they save Tremble at least? Tremble trying to turn on to Ophelia. Ophelia is dropping quickly now with the heal bomb coming in the last second. Aluna joins the party. The Unbreakable heal goes up, and Ophelia will stay alive. The Gust on the parrot though, just missing right there. The Gust at the last second, also helping to keep him alive. Wow, both teams doing some clutch moves right there, but in the end, Trademark eSports, they get the kill on onto Tremble, and now they're going to push out of this. So definitely works out pretty well for TDM.
There's just so much heal. Did you see all of it?
Yeah.
The healing waves coming out from the Demented Shaman, the Unbreakable, the ultimate from Ophelia. There's so much heal to deal with. And, you know, when we talk about that one, the metagame of the strength hero, the tanky strength hero is just pushing the base very, very quickly. It wasn't really, I thought, the problem of the tanks. Like Zephyr, when you think, oh man, here comes Zephyr, pretty cheesy, and he's going to push up. I don't think it's really a Zephyr problem. It's the heroes that behind Zephyr that make him the problem, like Demented Shaman and Ophelia. Yeah. And having that double heal, and basically like, you know, quad heal. If you really want to think about it. The Unbreakable is a giant heal. The healing wave, the ultimate from Ophelia, even the tornadoes being consumed by Zephyr can heal himself, and then the ultimate, or the Astrolabe coming out from Ophelia. So much massive healing, which transfers into, you know, massive team fight.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we've seen it several times now, including that last fight. I mean, the heal is just absolutely absurd, and they have to deal with it. Now, Invis just picked up at Warbase. A double damage spawned, and he missed it. Oh, that sucks. He picked up the Invis literally a second later, that double damage spawn, and either he just didn't see it or he's expecting somebody else to get it. Now, Ophelia is in a little bit of trouble here. Warbase is going to go in, but no, with the support coming in, Warbase figures it's best to go back to the Ancient. Zephyr still coming on over. But obviously they can definitely see him, even Gus him forward a little bit right there for distraction. But yeah, I'm not sure what that was about. Pinky Curdy just simply passing up a double damage, it almost seemed like. But in the end, not really a lot of harm done. So
definite gold lead here for TDM as they got a couple great exchanges. But they're actually still losing the battle as far as hero kills go. They're down 2-5 in hero kills, but still up 3K gold. Experience is pretty much identical, so we got a game, but we haven't yet to see Keeper of the Forest use his, you know, freshly purchased portal key just yet, and he is level 11, so has a level 2 root to work with.
Yeah, of course, that goes from 2 to 3 seconds now, as well as reducing the cooldown by 10 seconds, as you see right there. Ooh, middle lane, Zephyr charging in with those Ghost Marches. Warbase doesn't have ulti for him, but it doesn't matter. He gets gusted. He is going to be fine, however. He even has support coming in just in case, but he was just a little bit too far back. Wretched Hag, Zai again, just doing it as always on the Suicide Wretched Hag. He has already double Arcana picked up, so well on his way to the Hellflower. And we are now only 17.5 minutes into the game. Pewee, in the meantime, on Silhouette, has been, I don't want to say quiet. I mean, he's definitely quiet as been Draconis for that matter. I mean, Noob G has just been doing his own thing, and he is dominating the GPM chart. 508 gold per minute. he already has another 2,100 gold saved up, and he has the Nullstone purchase. So, but I was going to say Silhouette, she also is farming well, not as good as Draconis by any means, but she is definitely up there herself. And she actually chooses to go the Firebrand route first, instead of something like that Nullstone. What do you, she's seeming like she's going a very squishy route here early on. What do you make of that?
Well, against this team, obviously, you know, you have lots of heal. I think you're going to need damage. And personally, I would have gone for first item Shield Breaker just to get the damage out there.
Yeah.
And just to lower that armor, especially on Zephyr. And defensive items like Nullstone and you know, well, actually, a Blink would be quite fine as well. Here's some action here at top lane. They're going to try to get the kill. No, it's denied actually by Zai. Good job by him to pour it out from the illusion. Silhouette. Zai trying to press forward to see if he can find it, but he can't. But yeah, in this kind of game, even Portal Key wouldn't be that great because there's just so much push. They're always grouping up together. So strong initiation really isn't the tool here, I feel. Maybe from Keeper, but from other people, not so much because they have so much sustainability in team fights. And it's like, if you initiate with blinks and you're not able to kill anybody, that's game over. Like, you lost the fight.
Yeah.
So I think it's much safer to just kind of sit in back, try to dish out some, you know, chip damage. And I think the best item for that, honestly, is a Shield Breaker. But Firebrand's not bad either. Yeah. So I kind of like this decision.
Yeah. And we see right here as she's going to go back to the top lane again, and she actually got very close to getting caught out there, going for the tower kill, but of course with the illusion port was going to be fine. So back to farm she goes. So at least, again, the Firebrand, it will nonetheless provide her some good, more farm potential as far as damage output. And as you said, the heals is crazy over on the Hellborn side, so just having simply damage output, not bad. Soul's Bulwark going to help with that as well, as it's just purchased by Warbeast actually, so get that set to offensive. Of course, him and Tremble, honestly. I mean, Tremble, he can, you know, especially earlier on, he's got the level 4 Impalers, and he actually has 2,600 gold saved up. So, again, the question of, are we going to see something like a Mock, or is it going to be something like a Shrunken Head instead? We'll wait and see what VN Sensation prefers.
I don't think Mock would be good here at all.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about VN Sensation? On Tremble. Yes,
Tremble,
yes. For some reason I thought you were talking about Zephyr. But no. For Mock, for him, no, I still think that's even a worse decision for him. They're just too tanky and they have too much heal on their team. I would just get something with just straight up damage, like Shield Breaker. They're going to need that Shield Breaker on someone on their team. Like they're going to need all sources of negative armor they can get. They have a Bulwark onto Peaky Curdy, maybe a Shield Breaker onto VN Sensation. Congra, by the way, is basically being soloed by Ophelia. She's been here all by herself.
I've been watching this a little bit, and he's doing a great job of sending in 1 Minotaur after the next and trying to make sure he doesn't stomp, but it's getting close to death, so he's just really committing to it now. Draconis joins the party, and they're going to get this. A very good strategy coming out there. I mean, you would never expect an Ophelia to be soloing Kongor. That's basically what happened, though. Of course, everyone joins at the last second, but that was mostly my nuts on Ophelia there, doing a lot of the work. So Draconis now has a token of life, the Firebrand purchase. So he isn't going the Shrunken Head route, which is what we usually see on Draconis, the Null Sun and the Shrunken Head. But at the same time, I mean, he does have a lot of heal to work with this team. So
he doesn't really need Shrunken Head at all this match.
Yeah.
Like, it really doesn't. If only thing Shrunken Head would be good for is getting out of the Keeper ultimate, but that's why he's getting Geometer Spade now, is so he can get out of that Keeper ultimate. But it still might be okay, just simply have multiple ways to get out of that ultimate. And it's going to stop, you know, I guess the stun from Aluna, maybe the slow and snare from Tremble, but other than that, he doesn't really need it. The physical damage from Warbeast is going to pose more a threat than anything else.
Yeah. And
so having ways to get around that is the smartest decision.
Hydration. Drinking the waters. So yeah, the Shrunken Head, the more I thought about it too, it's just like with all the physical damage. Actually, Zephyr being jumped right here. Mountain coming out from Tremble. He does have support coming in. There's a lockdown from Boris. The Typhoon comes out, but Zephyr's still in a lot of trouble. Warbeast joining the party. Ulti form activated and helps chomp him down. It's a good kill set up on a Zephyr. Wretched Dagger realizing she needs to quickly get away here, perhaps. As, ooh, the Tree Grapple trying to catch her mid-blink or something like that. But you can't do that, unfortunately. So good attempt from Pewee, but Wretched Egg will blink away. Meanwhile, the bottom lane is being heavily pressured. Ophelia and Draconis are down here. And they're going to easily get a Cataclysmic Assault even activated by Draconis simply for that attack speed buff. So he takes out the tower right there. Wretched Egg in the meantime finds Keeper of the Forest, and the Hellflower is applied. That sets up a kill onto him. So great solo kill. I guess Insania did assist technically, but I'm sure a majority of that was Wretched Hag. But bottom lane is still being pushed in. Draconis, man, really going ballsy there. He is by himself. Might want to be a little careful. But he is going to start falling back now. So A lot of pressure being put out by TDM.
The Hellflower plus the ultimate from Wretched Hag, and then he used the Sonar Scream when Keeper of the Forest was Invis. And Demanded Shaman, he assisted with a healing bomb, and it didn't do that much damage, but it was enough to keep him low enough so that he knew, Zai that is, he knew that if he used that Sonar Scream when he was Invis, it would be enough damage.
Yeah.
And by the way, look at Demanded Shaman's build. He hasn't got Entangle at all. He hasn't got his ultimate at all. He just wants to go all heal. All heal, Unbreakable and Healing Wave.
Yeah, and I just think that it makes a lot of sense, especially with the way this game is. You really just want to maximize the heal potential. And again, you got to keep in mind with Unbreakable, it's a fun ability because sure, in majority of the time it seems like we do see it used for that saving purpose, but it applies, what is it, 60 damage? Yeah, 60 attack damage. That's nothing to scoff at by any means. That's 60 attack damage for 6 seconds.
It's basically like a level 2 empath.
Yeah. Oh, Warbeast getting caught. The triple Minotaur. Demented Shaman assists with the heal bomb as well. Warbeast just simply gets caught out and eventually dies as a result. So big collapse right there. And that's a big kill. He actually has a Warp Clef purchase, so he's trying to finish a Demonic Breastplate. But that'll clearly slow him down. And he doesn't have enough for a buyback either, so if they really want to pressure this.
And they can. They have all the tools they need. Draconis, by the way, has more than enough money to buy that Geometer's Bane if he wants to right now. The Courier's not in base yet. It just delivered something. I don't know. But he's rushing in here. He's going to the high ground. And he wants to perhaps use his token because he's actually out of mana. But yeah, they're looking at a great spot to maybe take these rags.
Yeah, the tower's easily going to fall. It's a question of will they get the racks. Ulti form is still up for Warbeast, so when it does come back up, you will at least have that to use. That's some good news there. But again, you mentioned that token of life on Draconis, just over 3 minutes remaining on it. He has another Cataclysmic Assault coming up in 5 seconds. There's the initiation of the Typhoon coming out. Trembles dropping quickly. He has a Shrunken Head, but it's already used. He's going to be taken out. Warbeast jumps in. There's the Rook coming out. The Bat Blast from behind. The Warbeast trying to chop down Zephyr, but not the target of choice. Warbeast is going to be bursted. Look at the collapse on top of the heal bomb coming out. The kill on a Keeper of the Forest, and it seems like Trademark eSports is just a little bit too strong here for FYKU, and they are really going to make a statement now as they take out both of the racks and maybe even head mid here.
They can backdoor. I mean, they just have. Oh wow! And he just buys Savage Mace. He doesn't even want the Geometer's Bane right now. And I think it's fine. I think he can. He can buy really anything at this point. He's just the supporting cast of TDM is just too strong. Namely just Demented Shaman and Ophelia. Those two heroes are running the show. You could say, wow, look at how much farm Draconis has, and wow, Hag did really well in the suicide lane, which he did. But honestly, I think the two biggest factors in this lineup were actually Zephyr's top dipping down very, very low. I guess she gets 5 seconds stunned by Luna, but it doesn't really matter. But the big, playmakers were the Demented Shaman and the Ophelia. They had a huge impact in TDM's success this game.
Yeah, they saved some big kills that could have happened by FYKU earlier on, and obviously as a result of that, it just one took away from FYKU from getting something out of it, and then of course kept them alive for TDM's sake. So that was a very good news, and I definitely agree with you there. Now they're just going to regroup. I mean, again, they still feel pretty confident. They still have a minute and a half more than that on Draconis token of life. So he still has that to work with. He has another Cataclysmic Assault. The cooldown for it is just ridiculously short. It's 30 seconds. He's going to jump in. There he goes, a kill. So you need to be a little bit more careful now. He's going to Blazing Flight away. Warby's trying to chase right there in ulti form, but the Blazing Flight makes him just a little bit too fast and not worth the chase. But the Hellborn team still committing somewhat. Zephyr's still up there. Warbeast again is still in ulti form. That'll finally despawn though. Another red stun coming up. 5 seconds on Wretched Act. There's the follow-up route. Do they have enough damage? Treble joins the party. He's going for anyone he can. The Void Talisman going to be used by Ophelia. Wretched Act will fall right there. Draconis needed to play a little bit defensively as Zephyr was also taken out. So they're making some big plays happen here. Ophelia's still on the run as there's a Cataclysmic Assault from Draconis though, turning it around. Blazing Flight uphill. Wanted to be a little bit careful, but the Cataclysmic Assault, so much damage. Warbeast will fall. The melee racks goes down. There are the GG well plays being called, and FYKU is simply put had enough here. And Trademark eSports will take the third and final game. So man, I mean, we jumped into that series, of course, late, but glad we did. That was a hell of a game 3 right there. But TDM, they do pull through in the end. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their lineup was very strong. They had tons of push. I think giving any team, two kind of strong heals like that. I mean, already on paper, before I even saw Ophelia, I just see Demented Shaman and Zephyr. I'm like, okay, that's pretty scary. Like, giving them not only just Zephyr, but, the biggest factor, Demented Shaman, being able to heal him and sit behind him with so many heals, and just for the entire team. But then Ophelia on top of all of that, it just provides so much push, so much heal. And it was just a well-drafted lineup. Now, FYKU, they played very, very well in the early game. Good response to the dive mid that happened from Zephyr, but wasn't able to capitalize too much after that. And honestly, there was one fight there. I forget at what point it was, but where we just saw them so close to killing somebody, but the heals just barely kept them alive.
Yeah. And
that was the ultimate factor where it started to stumble out of control.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. It just the heals was just way too immense for who? For FYKU to handle. That's right, FYKU there. So, Trademark eSports again coming into the series late. It's not unfortunate necessarily to make see earlier on, but you know, because of the circumstance of casting the complexity line esports game. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You know, jumping into another game right there and helping to jumping in to finish off another series and seeing how that one finished off. So. Well, that is gonna wrap it up here for today. Just real quickly, were just a couple more results. I wanted to just go over it to see where things stand. So TDM, they're gonna await the winner of the Q Squad TT Esports series now, which is still in that game number 3. So again, we'll keep an eye and see how that finishes off. Complexity and Stay Green will be matched up in their winners bracket finals or semifinals matchup. So that's a rematch right there. And remember, the last time that happened, which was last cycle, cycle 2. Stay Green did beat Complexity 2-1, so I'm sure that's definitely in their mind. Granted, Complexity beat them later on in the losers bracket, but still, there's a lot of back and forth there to say the least. So, yeah, keeping that in mind. But then you look at the losers bracket, you do have Absolute Legends, as I said, they got knocked out, so it'll be Vitriolic versus OTP. Call It Karma, of course, they're going to play Lion Esports Club. Pencils, they're awaiting the loser of the Q Squad TT Esports series. They took out We Are Spies, actually. Or no, they took out, they took out We Are Spies 2-0. And then Druids did defeat Pudge 2-0. So Druids coming from the Gold Division, and they are going to remain in the Diamond Division as a result of that victory there. So congrats to them and taking out Pudge.
The losers of this first round of the losers bracket. So Absolute Legends bounces
to going to gold. Yep.
As well as We Are Spies and Dendy's Jungle Devos.
Yes, sir.
So very interesting. Absolute Legends loses not only to Vitriolic Gaming, but an 0-2.
0-2 to Vitriolic, and then they also lost 0-2 to FYKU, the team that we just saw. In the first round.
And not to knock these teams, but these aren't exactly the teams that we think of as, like, you know, the top tier, at least in this division. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see what you know, Absolute Legends has done in those matches.
Yeah, so definitely some interesting stuff there. Sorry, I apologize right there. I didn't even realize we're back on camera. But, yeah, Absolute Legends now, granted in the Gold Division, definitely expecting them to do very well. But there's another unfortunate thing to that. It's that they will now have to pretty much wait basically 2 weeks before they get to play in HoN Tour again. Because since they lost here, they're not playing anymore in Diamond, obviously, and the next cycle doesn't start for 2 more weeks. So that does kind of suck that they get a lot of downtime now as a result of a loss there in that round. As those 14 Absolute Legends, We Are Spies, and Dendy's Jungle Devos, and then of course Pikachu, actually another team, you know, get in. But 4 teams have to get knocked down. This is what makes this format so interesting, at least as a spectator. Yeah. And a lot of fun, honestly, to watch in the end to see how that's going to happen. Which teams move up, which teams move down. You know where everything stands as a result. So there you go. HoNTour.com. You can get all that information for yourself, from the prize breakdown to the brackets, the schedule. Everything is there for HoN Tour. HoNcast.com, of course, for all the broadcasts, for the upcoming broadcasts, and as far as video on demand and whatnot, and the news articles written by our great news staff. So big shout out to those guys over there. And keep updated to all of that. So, Trelf, I think the day is coming to an end, though. Yeah. Any final words from yourself?
Well played by all the teams. We had some great games. It wasn't like crazy one-sided, except for the last Complexity game we saw. That was kind of one-sided. But even the one before that, where it looked like it was going to be, it actually turned out to be a great game. And well played to all teams. It was a good day in the books.
Was a lot of fun today, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But we'll be back tomorrow with that said, of course, at the same time, bright and early here. We got noon coming at you. No, it's going to be 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. That is 1800 Central European time. We'll be coming at you with a losers bracket matchup. We'll let you know. Stay tuned to our Facebook or Twitter at HoNcast, the HoNcast Facebook at TrelfHoN,
and at FreakyCPK.
At FreakyCPK. So the Twitter and the Facebook's there. All that information is there. So we'll let you guys know as soon as possible what matchup we plan to be covering, both from the losers bracket and then eventually a winners bracket semifinal matchup, of course. So until then, though, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. It's great to be back for the 2013 year. And let's make it an awesome 2013. Off to a great start. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.